And merry impending Christmas Eve and Christmas. We've still got a week to go, but I've got a little bit of an announcement for you guys over here that we're going to go through. So I'm all cozied up in a early Christmas gift from a girlfriend. This robe I've got over here, I got a little early because of the chilly weather coming in. So what we've got today, if you've been catching the streams, then you pretty much already know about this. I did a stream earlier today, and we'll be doing a stream tomorrow, which is Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Those are the days that I stream, which are Tuesdays and Wednesdays from about 3 to 5. Next week, however, being Christmas week, I will not be streaming those days, but the week of New Year's Day and New Year's Eve, I will be streaming, as that'll be the 2nd and the 3rd, so that won't interfere with any holidays. If you're paying attention to my desktop, maybe you see it, maybe you don't, but I'll go ahead and end the suspense. So Santapool came and had a conversation with me ahead of Christmas, and he said that he has a preview version of Beta 6, which is currently being labeled as Beta 5.5. It is a internal tester build only, and this is not available to the public. It is simply to highlight and hype up the progression towards Beta 6. So I always like to answer a lot of questions here in the beginning of the video that may inevitably show up and everything. And that is, no, there is no mobile version. No, you cannot have Beta 5.5. And no, I do not know exactly when Beta 6 will come out. I can tell you that Beta 6 should be due in Q1 of 2024. There is a solid guess that it should be in January of 2024, so you don't have much to wait, but the definite time frame is Q1 of 2024. A reasonable guess will be January. How many betas after Beta 6 until the final release candidate? We're not exactly too sure yet, but it does look like Beta 6 could likely be the final beta until the release candidate comes out. Will you be able to transfer saves from 5.2 to Beta 6? Goofy has explicitly stated no. Too much will change, and it will not be compatible. However, give me a few minutes to get into Beta 5.5, and we could talk about that a little bit further. So as you can see here, here's the zip file that I got from Santapool. You can see it is dated December 19th, and it's labeled Beta 5.5 internal zip. So that's an internal tester build. There it is. So you know this is legitimate. And here is my Beta 5.5 internal install, residing along with the older 5.01. 5.21, which is pretty much what a lot of the videos have been lately and I use for the streams. And then I also still have Beta 2 and Beta 3 around. Beta 3 I should likely get rid of. It's kind of pointless. It's the one that doesn't have combat. It was the one that focused on being a UI progression demo. And Beta 2 still has the most robust roster as of now, but we're getting there. So let's go ahead and pull up Beta 5.5. So essentially consider this a preview or a teaser to Beta 6. So now what I've done is my agent in Beta 5.2 is Napalm. Obviously that makes sense. I took that save, I backed it up for safekeeping, and I did copy it over to 5.5. And I labeled it Beta 5. So this is my existing 5.2 profile with Mockingbird and a bunch of the heroes and the gear and everything. But this is a brand new save that was started today during the stream in which I revealed beta 5.5. So some things that you will see immediately is that the social feed is less about the characters that you've recruited and everything. You can't see Danny Rand is sitting here. However, it is now actually a proper social feed. It actually has conversations aimed at you from the world of Redux. So for example, during the stream today, Hawkeye, being a tactician, actually missed hitting an infiltrator. The infiltrator dodged and Hawkeye missed. As we were joking about it on the stream, the next time I came up to my social feed is this little snarky remark from Black Widow that said, hashtag Bartons never miss is just a metaphor. We absolutely lost our shit during the stream on that. When we saw it, we were like, that's really, really funny, because we just were talking about that. And then a kind of a quip shows up about it on the social feed, and everybody was in awe of that. I'm not saying it was in reaction to Hawkeye missing, because that would be really crazy coding. It was maybe just random, but it was really, really fucking funny. We also had this WHIH World News, breaking news, Baron Helmet Zero spotted in Chinatown. Catch Newsfront with Christine Everhart at 7 o'clock for the full story. That's because we were fighting Zemo at the time. And we have Anna Corazon, who is missing a Y in the first name. Whoa, was that Iron Man? I've never seen him up close like that. You may know her as Spider-Woman from the original game, the Black Suit Spider-Woman, or Spider-Girl. I think she's Spider-Girl. And she's also in the trailer. If you catch it, it's very close, but she's in, or very quick, she is in the trailer for Madam Web. And as you can see, this is a legit save that I am working on over here. Cheats have not been enabled. I have given myself energy during the streams, but you can see ISOs are now blue. There is PvP AI energy. We have very, very limited shield and command points, limited silver, limited gold, and we now have functional tasks. So for right now, for example, I have a task to get a 1-star in Chapter 1, Mission 4, and I also have a multitask to defeat 25 enemies, help the agent reach level 4, which has been done, although there's a small bug there that it says 0-4, it should say 4-4, and should have said 2 or 3 along the way. And it also says Chapter 1, Mission 4, and you can see there's an unlock. So, collect all is down because I have collected all from everybody, and my daily spinner is down because I have already done this. However, if you have the gold, as I pointed out in many of the streams that I've been doing over the weeks, you can hit try again and you can respin. Also, every time you go to the daily spinner, the gear changes. So if you see something you like, for example, that Loki staff or the hot shot, that would be an amazing piece of gear for me right now. If I had the gold, I could respin. Let me warn you guys, when Beta 6 drops, if you are not doing cheats mode, you are going to be pushed to your limit. It will be tough, and you're going to want to start unlocking characters that may not be your favorite characters, but if they provide use in the missions that are challenging you, get ready to do that, because that happened on stream. So I unlocked Danny Rand because I was going against a lot of infiltrators, and I wanted to kill them quickly, so Danny, being the scrapper that's cheap, he was great for that. Also, you're gonna need to start making decisions with your currency between gear for your agent or unlocking heroes and training them. As you could see, my purple points are not great, and that was a limiting factor in training. Right now I need 1,000 silver to train Iron Man to 3, but I also need 9 purple points. I've only got 5. So if you were doing the equivalent of what Pokemon players call a Nuzlocke run, yeah, you're gonna get stressed and you're gonna get challenged and you're gonna have to do the RPG thing of farming. We've discovered a few little bugs here and there. For example, resume mission on this jet doesn't work. Also, do not make the mistake of trying to send people on your jets when you have a limited roster and or playing. The reason why I had people in my jets now is I started them on the jet when the stream ended, and I'm now collecting it at the time of this video. But if you are playing and you have a roster as limited as mine, for example, do not send people on your jets because you're going to use them. Black Widow goes into deploys, Hawkeye goes into deploys, and as you can see, we now have an XP bar. This is huge. People on the stream saw this and they were over the moon that you can now see how much experience it's going to take for your heroes to train. That means you can make better judgment on who should be going on, flight decks and everything like that. So that is really handy. I just saw ISO stats. That was weird. I just had a tooltip. Oh, there we go. Everybody has the same equal stats over here. Is that? I'm not too sure if that's correct or not. Everybody seems to have identical stats. I don't see anybody ahead on attack and then lower on evasion. Keep that in the back of your head. I don't know that that is supposed to be that way. I think at this point, people were beginning to kind of specialize into their roles. You will see that the roster is going to be more complete than it was in Beta 5.2. So Beta 5 ended in Wolverine. Beta 5.2 added the Spec Ops for Mockingbird, and it also gave us Black Panther and Scarlet Witch. We now burst past that for Beta 6, where we have Emma, Rogue, Magic, Deadpool. Hercules is a favorite for a lot of people. Page 6, you're going to see Cable, which a lot of people use in beginning game. He's very, very strong. One of my favorites, Psylocke. Havoc, great against tacticians. Magneto, who is a lockbox character. X-23, Wasp, Black Knight, who I can't wait to run with the Devour. Captain Britain, Phantom X, Omega Sentinel. Wait a minute. That was weird. Was that yeah, that was Omni of the Ava over there. We go into page 8 and we've got Shitterstar, Union Jack, Red Hulk, which I know a lot of people are going to be excited about. Thundra, kind of piss poor Wonder Man, and Constrictor. They get better a little later. They're hard to level. Rescue's hard to level. And then we go all the way up here to page 9, where we've got Damon, we've got Satana, and we have Angel, otherwise known as the free PvP character if you played during that bugged season. So we're going to jump back into some actual missions here. I've got a Daredevil deploy. I don't own him, so there's nothing that I could do. That looks like Bruisers. This is a mix. I'm going to deploy Danny on this one because these look like Bruiser. Oh, they're generalists. Okay. No big deal. Iron Man needs to be trained, so I'm going to bring in Black Widow. When you are looking at your agent's gear and you're beginning to buy weapons in the store, you should know that for single target guns, the needle gun that your character starts off with, so you start off with 2 of them. 2 needle guns, and that's it. I made the point during the stream that I think it should be a needle gun and a melee weapon, like a needle gun and a katana, just to have a little bit of different flair. But you should know that the needle gun as a single target gun actually comes in a bit better than a lot of the other single target guns. So the Sub-O rifle that is in the store was really, really good in the alphas and the early betas. It was an extremely powerful weapon. However, when you go and look at it over here, the needle gun has a damage range of 25 to 38. The Spirit 76, aka the Captain America gun, only has a range of 9 to 12. And if you were to look at the Screaming Eagle, that one is better, but it has wild shots. The grenade revolver is an AoE, only 12 to 15. A lot of these single target guns, other than maybe the skirmish because it has a chance for a follow-up, they're not stronger. So be careful with your limited resources at the start of the game, and don't buy things that you're like, oh, I remember this weapon, it was so good. Gold. Alright, gold is nice. Maybe I can... can I convert it and get purple points out of some gold so I can train Iron Man? Oh, and you can also research now, by the way, and you can sell weapons properly. So if you're in the store and you go to sell, this is a grenade revolver that I bought. As you can see, I can sell it. We want to go to... I wonder, was there a clickable that allowed you to convert gold into the currency you need up here? It's been so long, I don't remember. Here in the settings, this is where you can turn on and off cheats mode and everything, your volumes, what the helicarrier looks like, and all. Right now, my cheats mode is on because I was recharging energy. However, I have not given myself currency yet. But let's see something. You can get more roulettes by visiting allies. Visiting allies. Let's talk about that while we are here. When you go to allies now, those building sections will show up as clickable, and you can collect resources from your allies directly instead of hitting collect all. So I've done that today. You can check the stream out for that. But during the stream, like 4 of these buildings were lit up. I clicked on them. I got deploys. Not deploys. I got the assist calls over here. And I actually got materials. There was a point where it was really low on purple points. And I visited some allies. And I got some. And I trained my characters. Another thing that is really, really good is inventory is now available in combat. The issue is it is a little bit buggy at times. So for example, if I hit this and I hit a defensive item, it's working pretty good. Like I used a dreidel over there on Black Widow and she got a bunch of rising up buffs. However, sometimes using offensive items doesn't always work. Well, we'll use a deep. So, apple cider is really solid. I don't have any offensive items. I know what I was gonna look. Holy shit! She did 3 digits of damage. Oh my god, that zap. Wow, that zap is really amazing. That's really handy. I think I need that on some of the boss fights I haven't been able to clear. Whoa. That was some really good stuff. We did notice 1 or 2 things. So like for here, the safety officer says flammable, vulnerable to fire and energy attacks. This is neither fire nor energy. It's just ranged. But they still ignite at times, so I don't exactly know. Oh my god, Black Widow. Wow. I need to remember how strong that zap is. Research now works again. You can research properly, but again, you're going to strain your resources. So for example, I can research grenades. However, it takes 3 of my purple points when I only have 5. The silver cost is fantastic. It's only 30, and grenades are very useful in combat. However, I'm not willing to spend my hard-earned shield points for that in order to get it done. So this combat, I could bring Danny for the infiltrators. I actually think I will. But yeah, some of the... It is a little bit weird right now, using inventory in combat. Goofy is aware of it. He's seen it. There are times where you use an offensive item, but it goes to your team. You use a defensive item, but it goes to the enemy team. Like, I gave a boss, like, a heal that should have gone to my team, which was really unusual. And, by the way, interdimensional bullets are tough. Like, if you see interdimensional bullets going out, you're going to lose a lot of hit points. However, Danny, he's pretty good against infiltrators. If you are struggling with infiltrators because you have a bunch of tacticians and everything, get Danny. However, God, that phase bullet is tough. Looks like we're good for the moment. Alright, so now let's... It says I have a deploy ready, so I'll try it. We'll see what happens. There you go. Not bad. Let's try to finish him off. So that... Ooh, that's close. That's close. He's gonna be really enraged and pissed off. There goes my agent. So, as you can see, like, the beginning of the game, when you're not running cheats, this is tough stuff. There were a number of battles on the stream that came down to maybe one character being alive. You know, maybe having to use something from the inventory and get lucky. Skin of the teeth battle over there, as you can see. So I'm going to go ahead to jump into this MODOK fight, now that we know we have some good inventory items. And I want to bring somebody strong, so I'm going to go ahead and bring Iron Man, even though he is ready to be training and everything. I'm going to use a zap on Iron Man to buff up his stats over here because he has AoE, which is really solid. So I was not able to get past this during the stream. My characters just were not strong enough. However, they are stronger now, and my agent is also several levels higher, and that... yeah, that zap is amazing. I think this is going to be a critical thing for getting through this fight and getting that task. Yep. Ace, that's some ace stuff right there. That is definitely the shit. Alright, so the spinner gives us cookies. I would have liked... This is really what I need right here, is that. I could spend gold to try again, but I'm not. And now we'll see what it's like to finish a task. By the way, if you open your inventory in combat, you use an item. Even if you were like, oh shit, I don't want to use an item right now, use it. Inventory is a little bit bugged. If you open the inventory, it doesn't close. You can complete the battle with the inventory overlay there. It just is a little annoying. So if you open the inventory, use an item. If you really don't want to use anything or you don't have anything, it's fine. You just might get a little bugged out there with the inventory window. And it looks like we've now unlocked PvAI or PvP AI. So let's give that a shot first. Hawkeye has responded to Black Widow in the social feed. Hashtag the Black Widow. Don't tell me how you know that. Loki is saying, what shall we do today? Because remember, at this stage of the game, Loki is only a villain. So now he's taunting us a little bit over here. PvAI, the first click will give us items, but then it actually lets us in. Let's see what we can do here. It's a little weird. Yeah, okay. So it's still a bit buggy. Not much is actually happening here. But now if we were to go into a new mission, so this is the one we just did. If we go into this Loki one, because Loki was now taunting us in the social feed, we'll get a new task. And this one seems like it is story only. Recruit 4 heroes. It actually isn't story only. Recruit 4 heroes for some command points. Beat this mission and 1-star it, and then get 7 total mastery stars. And it says we are at 6 of 7, and that's because 1, 2, so we've got 4 here, 5, 6. Beating Loki would be 7. So by 2-starring these, by farming, aka the typical RPG mechanic of building up your characters, we have now prepped for this Loki task. So keep that in mind. Don't try to rush through these chapters when you're in beta 6 and be like, oh, I gotta get back to where I was in 5.2. Take it slow. Take it easy. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the challenge, because let's face it, there eventually is a point where the game isn't really quite the challenge it is comparable to when you started in 2012, and or whenever it was that you actually started playing. But like, this stuff is challenging. Your resources are challenging. It's not going to be super easy cakewalk. However, I did transfer up that save, so we will go visit that really quick. And there is one thing I wanted to do. I needed to change up some stuff on my agent gear. So after I just check out the save that I moved up, just as a proof of concept that it's doable, I'm going to go ahead and show you the answers to the community questions and everything. So on my agent, I needed to change the Master Sword and the Neuropurge's positions. Because what's happening is when I follow up with the Devourer or the Master Sword, my Neuropurge is what is swinging. And we need to see what is going on with that. I think it's happening because the Neuropurge is what is in my hand. Can I really equip a third ISO? Is that a weird... Ooh. I can equip a third ISO in this suit? Follow-up attack, supply, reduce, protect... Oh, wow, I can. What's another good... Surprising is the one that does attacks. Recharge for hit points. Wild Force. Single target attacks, gain desperation. Well, my agent's usually not that hurt. What is distant? Ranged attacks have a higher chance to critically hit. Let's stay with insult to injury. Okay, so I want to do one combat here, and I want to see what happens now that the Neuropurge is not in my hand. Hi, Chewie. Because what was happening is the Master Sword of the Devourers was countering and following up. Okay, alright, so that bug still exists. You can see that the Devourer followed up because I was attacked. A bleeding target got attacked, but it was the Master Sword that swung. So there is still a little bit of a bug with weapons in combat and everything. So we're going to Neuropurge them, which, by the way, Neuropurge and Master Sword, fantastic combo. It is because the Master Sword likes to work with opportunistic debuffs, and that's what the Neuropurge puts out. And there you go. Oh, wow, that hit everybody. That's a little weird. The Master Sword is not supposed to hit everybody. By the way, Zelda reference. Here's that double protect. Again, we've seen that a few times during the stream. I'm telling you, the Devourer is the hardest working weapon in the business. The Devourer is phenomenal at what it does, and I cannot wait to actually earn it permanently when we get the full game. And by the way, Black Cat in the Claws uniform, don't skimp on her. She's got some power, and she's really, really good for bleed teams. We're going to give everybody close quarters combat because of this specific suit. You'll see, there it goes, the residual vortex energy. So this suit was earned in late PvP. Literally the last season of PvP during the live game. It's an amazing suit. I can only imagine what PvP would have been like with this suit being live. You would have seen a lot of scrappers out there. Bruiser still presented a big issue to scrappers and everything, but could have been interesting. Okay, I'm going to pause the video real quick and get the answers to the community questions.